Forged from Iron is proud to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham United fans and friends inspired by the work of other football fan food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations from Newham Food Bank in Beckton, who supply 7 distribution centres in the borough, 7 days a week, and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. They are supported in their efforts by West Ham United Football Club, the WHU Foundation, LS185, London Legacy Development Corporation, Newham Council, the Met Police, Spire London East Hospital, Expedient Security, and a large number of West Ham and football fans. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thank you for your support. Come on, you Irons. Good morning and welcome to Forged from Iron, Saturday the 7th of January, and you are here bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Well, maybe not if you've had a heavy night out on the tiles. You never know. Anyway, before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to like, comment and share the stream to your social media platform. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and make sure you hit the bell icon for alerts on new content. As always, we thank you very much indeed for your support in this matter. We are here for the opening day, as far as Premier League clubs are concerned, anyway, of which at the moment we're one of that elite group. The Emirates FA Cup third round, Brentford versus West Ham United at the Gtech Community Stadium. Duke, what's how do you feel about this this game? Obviously, you know, it's a game that it's a competition that we've obviously got a connection to. We're 3-time winners. The last time obviously was a long time ago. Bit of silverware in the cabinet. It's something we can't turn our nose up. But with our current situation, do you think that we should prioritise the Premier League at the expense of the FA Cup today?
I don't think you can. I know. See, I've had so many conflicting feelings about this over the last. Hey, Haps, how you doing, bud?
Yeah, but that was at 5:39 yesterday.
What's that?
Oh, what? That was yesterday.
Yeah, bless her. Yeah, I'm kind of there, Rob. Oh, look, my mic's in the. Yeah, I am. I'm very kind of in the point of. I don't think we can waste a chance, Rob. Mm-hmm. I know. See, I have been paying attention to other channels. Previews and stuff, and Gonzo and Gio mentioned the Conference League and everything else. But I made a point of saying a week or so ago, you know, confidence, winning breeds confidence, and winning breeds winning. If that sounds, you know,
it becomes a habit.
Yeah, Yeah, it becomes a habit, and we need a good habit, Rob, right now. We really need a good habit. So I am...
Scratching your balls isn't a good habit, Duke.
It depends. A good scratch in the morning.
That's put you off, hasn't it?
I'm just thinking of a good scratch. No.
Sorry.
You can't throw it away. You can't throw it away. This is something that we need. It's something that can bring us confidence. There's kind of a revenge mission here in my book. We've got I've got to try and give them a bit of what for after what happened at the London Stadium. Yeah, we can't. Morning. We can't dick around today. I've seen other previews. I've seen other teams that people are putting out. Whether I agree with them or not, it's a different matter. But for me today could be a win today can kickstart our season.
Absolutely. Well, for those of you watching who might not be watching on YouTube, you might want to pop across to YouTube because we've got a little poll running. I'm going to have a little bit of fun today. There's a poll going. There's a vote. You can get involved. And the question is quite simple. Formation, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, or 3-2-1. 3-4-2-1. There you go. You've got three choices. I'm going to close it shortly, and then we're going to sort of go forwards, and we're going to sort of give you guys an opportunity and just see what the general consensus is for positions and all the rest of it. So if you're not watching on YouTube, get yourself over to YouTube, get involved in that particular vote, and we'll have a little bit of fun with that. So, Duke, do you want to see my little piece that I've put together as what I think David Moyes might go with?
Please do. Let's have some fun.
Let's have it. Yeah, that's basically what I suspect may well take to the pitch. Now, I could be completely wrong. It's always quite difficult, Duke, and people watching to guess what David Moyes might be thinking. I mean, I remember last year, I think in the third round, we played Leeds United, didn't we, at home? And I thought for all the world that he was going to rest and rotate and all the rest of it. And he did to a point, but he didn't rotate it as much as I thought he would. But then again, fast forward 12 months, we're in a totally different situation because whether you like it or not, we are fighting for our Premier League lives at this precise moment in time. So I think that there's a very good chance that he might be forced to rotate maybe more than he did 12 months ago in the exact same situation. But what say you, Duke, about that 11 that I've got there? Do you see that resembling what David Moyes is going to put out? And you guys in the live chat, get involved as well, please.
You know what? If I'm to see a couple of youngsters today, I'd love to see Oko flex. He's come back off of loan, hasn't he? So
he has, yes.
We believe he's possibly available. I'd be very interested in seeing that young man today. I'd love to see Ollie Scholes again. I really would. And who was the other young lad that was on the bench that didn't get off? He went again, didn't get on the pitch in that final game. Young midfielder.
I can't remember. What you want about the game against FCSB?
Yeah, he's the one that was tweeted by Declan Rice when they were on the plane going out somewhere. It wasn't Ollie Scholes. It was another one. There was another young lad on the bench. Kent will probably know. Yeah, I'd love to see Ollie Scholes. He absolutely excited the shit out of me when he played in that final group game. In fact, they all did. All the youngsters that played in that game really did make me happy. I kind of agree with English Yardie there. I would like to see Mubama up front
He
again.
played yesterday for the 21s, though. I doubt that.
Did he really? Right then, no, we
Yeah.
won't see him today. That's
Very
fair.
unlikely.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, it's about time Connor Coventry did what Connor Coventry does or should have done. For me, he should have, he should have been the one that we didn't need to go by Downs. Do you know what I mean? That he should have been the one that kind of came through there. So really, it is about time for him to really step up and really do. Ollie Scholes is an absolute talent. So yeah, I mean, looking at it, I mean, cases can be made for full strength, like Ken says, going out for the win, and I do have a massive affinity for the FA Cup. I love the FA Cup all the time in the world for the FA Cup. Some good memories, of the FA Cup. Not just as a West Ham fan, but as a football fan in general. In fact, go back to a gentleman that passed away yesterday, losing another legend of the game in Viali. I remember seeing him. I think it was 2000 that Chelsea lifted the cup. Seeing the smile on his face and things like that. Roberto Di Matteo, was it 14 seconds? I think it was an FA
like
Cup
that.
final. One of the quickest goals ever scored. There are some banging memories. Again, you go Wrexham, FA Cup, Arsenal. Was it Mickey Thomas with a free kick? David Seaman's save. That was in the FA Cup against Sheffield United, if I remember rightly. We were talking about that with Fabianski the other night. So there's some fantastic memories for me.
No problem, Darren.
Fantastic memories for me with regards to the FA Cup. So I would like to see us take it seriously. And what's it been now, Rob? 40.
Well, it'd be 43 years by the time
in March.
Yeah,
43 years in March. So is it not about time we won it? I mean, no, I don't think it was. Kent, that's not the name that jumps out at me. I'll have to text my brother.
Caelan Casey?
No, it was a young lad that my brother had coached with APD.
Oh.
Say again? Huh?
Yeah, there was a couple that you mentioned, and I can't remember who it was.
I'm at the bottom of the stairs side because I'm downstairs in the pub because I do have to make this quite a quick video today because I have to open the pub at 11 o'clock. So that behind me is actually the route up to the ladies' toilets. So I'm behind my DJ booth at the moment.
Yeah, I've got the poll running on the WhatsApp. On YouTube, Duke. I don't know if you've clocked it.
No, I haven't, mate. No.
Asking the troops about goalkeeper. The choices are Fabianski, Areola, Randolph, and Hegyi. Now, at the minute, Areola's running away with it. He's on 91%. I'm going to end it very shortly, and then we'll move on to the left-back choices.
Yeah.
So, what are you sort of like Areola?
It has to be for me. No disrespect to Lewis Orford.
Got it. Yeah.
Lewis Orford. No, I mean, for me, it has to be. Areola in there. I mean, the guy must be chomping at the bit, Rob. He must be sitting there as pissed off as anyone else. Probably as pissed off as we are as fans. He's probably chomping at the bit to get into this team. He's going to want to play, and he was bought to play. You know what I mean? He was bought to be a goalkeeper, and he's just pretty much spent 90% of the time. Can't say he's sitting there getting splinters in his arsehole now because they don't sit on wooden benches in the dugouts. They sit on very comfortable. Formula One car racing kind of, them kind of really comfy seats. In fact, he probably doesn't want to play. He's probably really comfortable. He's probably going to get himself a little blanket this afternoon.
Yeah.
But no, he's going to want to play. He's a professional footballer. He wants to play. He's not like, these guys that just want to go to, Saudi Arabia and just pick up a paycheck, just because they can. So yeah, I think he's going to want to play. I think he needs to play. I personally would like to see more of him. I still remember the save he made in the Europa League last year. You know, there was some real good saves there. So yeah, no, he interests me. I'd like to see him play. But again, it's you and me. We can sit here and same as the guys in the chat and go, "Oh, I want to see this person," and then Moyes goes, "You know, you're not." So you know what I mean. So yeah, let's do it. All we can do is wait and see, mate.
I haven't put him as a choice at left back, Ken. I've just put the left back selection up, and the choice is between Cresswell and Emerson. The reason why I've not given you the choice of Ben Johnson, which I could have done, but I think that Ben Johnson might have to be utilised at right back because of obviously Vladimir Kufal getting clumped by.
But then you've got Harrison Ashby.
Oh, mate, seriously, he's got no chance.
Yeah, but there was.
I think he should, but
there was a comment made yesterday. There you go, English Yard is on. He's got it. There was a comment made yesterday.
I agree, but then again, Emerson's a left back and Ashby's the right back. But I take your point, English Yardy. I mean, Ashby...
no, but then what I think what he gets there is you'd have Johnson on the left, so he'd take Ashby over Emerson, which then puts Johnson over that side. On the Patreon channel for Hammer's Chat, they were doing their review of this game, and Gonzo mentioned about Ashby, and Gio said about the fact that, you know what, he's made no bones that he wants to leave, rather. And why should we play someone that quite openly is ready to leave the club? And Gonzo responded in the only way Gonzo knows how, and in a way that I completely agreed with. We've got a player that wants to leave, and we're giving him the fucking captain's armband. So why can we not play Harrison Ashby at right back, even if he wants to fucking play?
That's exactly where I'm at with it. It's like, you know, we seem to have kicked Ashby into the long grass because he won't sign a contract. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, hang on a minute. Maybe he's not signing a contract fundamentally because he isn't getting played. So he thinks, well, maybe I'm going to get better served in my future by going elsewhere. Don't blame the kid. Don't blame the kid. Ben Johnson's not signing an improved contract, whatever. He's been kicked into the long grass. See you later, Ben. Declan Rice, contract after contract after contract after contract, which he's perfectly entitled to do. I get it. But we're still playing him. That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, and this is the point, isn't it? We're all sitting here going, well, you know what, we can all see these situations unfolding in front of us. Yeah, here we are. What is it? Just because Declan Rice is Declan Rice? Of course it is.
Yes.
Let's not
dick around. What he's worth to the club. Let's be honest. You know, Ashby's worth basically bugger all to the club in terms of a transfer value. Ben Johnson's worth a little bit more, but not massive amounts. But when you're talking about a player that a little while ago, David Moyes or David Sullivan was on record as saying that Declan Rice at that moment in time, they said was worth north of 800 million, north of 100 million. That's the only reason for me. It's because of money. Which is why things happen in life. You know, I'm realistic. You know, things happen in life or don't happen in life because of money. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but I don't care. What he's doing is damaging the future of the club. I get Declan Rice is going to want to go. No disrespect to Harrison Ashby, but Declan Rice is probably 30 or 40 times the player. No disrespect meant to Harrison Ashby. If Harrison ever watches this video,
you never know.
Emerson's
won the left back choice, by the way. We had Areola won as the keeper. Now Emerson's won 89% against 10%. I don't know how that's worked out. 89% Emerson, 10% Cresswell.
One person's gone, I don't want fucking either. That's what it is for me. He's probably 20, 30 times the player. And I can understand why he wants to leave. I get that. I get that he will, as I've already said, he will walk into any team in the world. He'll have to do as he's fucking told, but he can walk into any team in the world. But the fact that you've got Harrison Ashby and
I've included him as one of the right back choices. Actually,
yeah, you've got Harrison Ashby,
He's
who
no
could
chance
be
of playing
the future right back for us long term, right? And we're turning around and going, no, why? Why are we doing this? You know, we've already had, you and me have already had the conversation about the fact that the bit of the carpet as you come out of the tunnel is all bullshit right now. It's all bullshit right now. Academy of Football, piss off. I don't want to know. We're not, because we're not bringing any of the youngsters through. So I personally rip that up off the floor and maybe put former Academy of Football.
Once upon a time, X.
So yeah, it's.
I agree.
You know, listen. Regardless of what you and me say, regardless of what you and me think, doesn't matter. He's got his lineup already set. You know, he's already got this thought in mind. We can sit here and kick the can as far down the road as we need to. It won't change nothing, and that's for the simple fact is, he's stubborn. Mm-hmm. He's quite obnoxious as well, Rob. I've noticed. I don't know if I'm the only one getting this feeling from Moyes, but he's quite obnoxious. Winning's what I do. Yeah, when?
I have the Betway Cup in my trophy. I'll have you know, is his response.
Please, can you start soon? Because it'll be amazing.
Well, I mean, we haven't won in our last 6, and it has to be noted in their last 6, Brentford are undefeated. Not only are they undefeated, but let's have a look at the last couple of teams that they've put to the sword. 10 points from Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur, our good selves, and Liverpool. Ooh. That's got to be tough, mate. And even if they put out a rotated side, and I don't think they're going to put out as rotated a side as possibly we're going to. I think that Thomas Frank is going to want to try and keep a little bit of momentum going. I think he'll make changes. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe their backup goalkeeper, Thomas Trakosha, come in for David Raya.
Easy for you,
obviously.
Huh? It's easy for you to say.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But there could be a few little tweaks. You might have players coming in that maybe were rested quite recently. But I mean, Ivan Toney had the day off in Liverpool game. He was sat in the stands. He might come back in refreshed. I mean, bloody hell.
Is he not injured?
He was sat out injured because he picked up an injury against us. But I think he is potentially available for the game today.
How does this happen? How does this happen? How do players? No. What I mean is, how does this happen? How do players get injured for other clubs? And what looks like a serious injury. I mean, he was carted off on the go-kart, wasn't he? Yep. I just need to understand how he gets go-karted off using the same thing that brought the World Cup final ball onto the pitch, if I remember rightly. Yep. And he's back with what looked like a serious injury, Rob, and he's back within 2 days.
Yep.
And then, or 2 games, sorry. And then we get so unlucky that a young gentleman plays like 18 minutes of a game and ends up with an injury that is so rare that it's only been seen by this specialist twice in 25 years. What the fuck is going on?
That's in it.
I can't. I don't know.
It's just us, though, isn't it? You know, we're the gift that keeps up giving.
Shit. It's just shit. I just can't. I just really can't, Rob. It's just one of them, isn't it? It really is.
Right. Well, I'm putting out a vote.
So he could be back today. Ivan Toney could be back today. Is this what you're saying?
I've heard that he may be available. I've heard whispers, but we'll see. I mean, you know, he might not even be involved in the squad. I'm saying that I've heard whispers, but I've got to say I'm not that up to date on the comings and goings, but I've got a little piece here that seems to suggest that he may. I mean, it says here, I'm quoting, this is from Sportsmole. Frank will hope to have Tony available again after no risks were taken on the forward versus Liverpool due to a minor knee issue.
Oh, minor injury. Right, okay, yeah. Carried off by a fucking go-kart stretcher, and it's a minor injury. Yeah. Looked like
Kent's just come in there. Not as bad as it first appeared, so...
Yeah. It looked like a major injury when he was stretched off and the camp was, pardon my French, and he was crying. He was literally crying as he was being stretched off.
Maybe he's got a low pain threshold.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. It's just shit. I mean,
honesty is the best policy, English Yardie. People might not like honesty.
You know what? You know what, Yardie? I'm 44, mate, now. There's probably others that are older than me. I mean, he's like in his 70s now. We've all been doing this long enough, and I'm just bored of it now. I'm bored of being shit in my lifetime. You know, I was 18 months old. We won the FA Cup. I was alive for boys of 86. I remember it very, very loosely, if you will. I was alive for the Intertoto Cup win. I was alive for the playoffs in the championship. I've not really had much else to celebrate, and I'm just like That's tight. Yeah, that was on telly the other day. That was on Sky. I actually watched that. I think I recorded it. I might have to put it on just to give myself a bit of a smile today. Yeah, it's just shit. I just want to, like, these last 2 years kind of gave us. I think it gave us a full sense of security as West Ham fans. I thought we'd turned a corner. It actually turns out we're in a cul-de-sac. We're in a crescent. We've come all the way back to where we were about 8 years ago.
It's the West Ham way, Duke. You should know by now.
Oh, Cyber, you lovely man. I wish I was.
You crawler. He's
after
a free bag of crisps at the pub. That's his game. That's his game. I know what he's all about. Don't worry.
Bless him. He's a good lad.
I know what you meant, English Yardie. We know.
We got you.
Right. So what have we got on YouTube? I've got the poll running at the minute for the centre back pairing. So I'm going to close it in a minute. So any of you that haven't already had your say, get across to YouTube, put in the poll your vote as far as the centre back pairing for today is concerned.
Who did you go with?
Sorry.
Who did you go with?
Well, it was on the slide. Yeah, it was on the graphic that I did earlier.
That was like 10 minutes ago. What's the matter with you?
Okay. I've gone Kara and Ogbonna.
Yeah, I was the same.
Yeah. Go on to YouTube and vote. Let's beef it up a little bit. Well, the choices are just.
Mate, I'm struggling with me do 4 choices. As it is.
Yeah, I can only do 4 choices on the YouTube poll. I've done Ogbonna Dawson, I've done Kara Dawson, I've done Kara Ogbonna, and I've done Aguerd Dawson. At the minute, the common consensus seems to be Aguerd Dawson, which is essentially, yeah, 40. At the minute, it's 43%. I'm going to give it another minute or so. So as I say, anybody that's watching this that hasn't had a vote on this, get in because your vote could count. It could swing it one way or the other. At the minute, it's 43% Dawson. 25% has gone a Kara Ogbonna, which is, like I say, that's my choice. Kara Dawson and Ogbonna Dawson are both at 12% apiece.
Grace,
so
get on YouTube and vote for Kara Ogbonna, please. Thank you.
Why would you vote Kara Ogbonna? I'd be interested to know what your thought process behind that.
I think Kara needs to rebuild some confidence after an absolute mare at left back and for the most part right back. And I just think Aguerd needs to be wrapped up in cotton wool. I just don't. I get we want to see him play. I get we paid 35 million. I get that he's this absolutely outstanding centre back. But Christ Almighty, I don't want to see him get injured again, Robert. We need him for Wolves. Is it Wolves and Leeds the next 2 games? No, Wolves and Everton. Yeah, Wolves and Leeds was.
And then we go to Newcastle from memory.
Oh, then wrap him up again.
Yeah.
Although I'm saying
Right.
that they did spend a lot of time rolling around on the floor against Arsenal when I watched
we've
them
got
the
a
other
dead
night.
heat at the minute. Someone needs to put in a vote to be a tiebreaker. Someone needs to put in a vote because at the minute we've got 40% each for Kera Ogbonna.
I'm not open yet, Cyber. Leave me alone.
40% each for Kera Ogbonna or Aguirre Dawson. Ogbonna Dawson and Kera Dawson are at 10% apiece. We need someone to put a vote. Right, okay. No, that hasn't really changed it. Oh, hang on. No, it's 33% each now. I need someone to put a vote in that sort of breaks it up. Please, someone, anyone, just put a vote in on the YouTube channel for Christ's sakes.
Do you realise how
end the
needy
poll
you
here.
sound right
It's
now?
a dead heat.
You realise how needy you sound?
Someone vote for either Kera Ogbonna or Aguirre Dawson to break up that tie, and then I can end the poll. There we go. Right, I'm ending it now. Bang, before some other sod comes in. Honestly, not having that. Right,
Just so
so
you
the
know, I voted.
winner was
I voted.
Kera Ogbonna, 38%, which was the one that I selected. Did you do that?
I did, yeah.
Oh, well done. Well, Cyber's come in. He said,
Yeah, I know. I said I'm not open yet.
Oh dear. Yeah, just go wait in the calf. Rebecca can't remember what she voted for. Eamon, morning, Eamon. If we put Kera in, might as well not even turn up. He's better at centre back. I think we've sort of worked out that fullback isn't his thing, especially left back. I mean, bloody hell. Oof. Right. Okay. Right. Duke, if you can talk for a little bit, I'm going to sort of construct the next poll I'm going to kick out, which I'm going to ask for who's going to play as the CDM of because the poll finished on a 4-3-3. So we're going to go with a 4-3-3 formation for this. So I'm going to ask the question of who should be the CDM. So if you could just waffle on for a bit while I sort of tap the keys.
All right, no problem. I'm keeping my eye out for Cyber. It scares me. I'm very worried that I'll turn around in a minute and he'll be up against the window like that. Something out of Scream. I mean, listen. To be honest, I'm looking at today, and I really, really want to win. Really want to win. As Ken says, you know, the love affair, the romance of the FA Cup. For me, it's not dead. It's not. I get that there's a lot more money elsewhere now, and it seems to be going down the same road as the League Cup at times in the earlier rounds for the bigger clubs. They're just kind of a lot more of the youngsters out, and there are some clubs whose youngsters are significantly better than most of the 11s in the Premier League. Man City being a case in point. You know, Stefan, the keeper. Who's the young lad up front?
Oh, Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer. Love him. Absolutely outstanding. You know, I have to say, I did have a look earlier on something came up on Sky, and they were talking about the highest transfer prices that are currently attached to
Morning, Fred.
183 million for Jude Bellingham, 167 for Phil Foden, and way down on 134 million was Erling Haaland. And I was sitting there looking at it, going, "You value Phil Foden at, like, you know, 35 million more than Erling Haaland? Have I missed something somewhere?" Just want to check that it's Erling Haaland that scored, you know, close to 77 goals so far this season, and not Phil Foden. Is what have I like? Is it Phil Foden that's already like got 3 hat tricks so far this season? Have I missed something? Have I missed something?
But possibly a lot of the goals that Haaland has scored wouldn't have been but for Phil Foden's donkey work.
So that right,
he is, Ken. You're right.
He is. I'll tell you what, he's doing really well down there as well, isn't he? But
So
my idea was that these guys are significantly better than most other
James.
Premier League guys. James, I really hope you're right. Really, really hope you're right. I just don't see it. I'm finding it really hard to get myself motivated for this, Rob. Really
just turning my attention to the YouTube poll, and as I say, if anyone's watching this on Twitter or Facebook, pop across to the YouTube channel because there's a poll running at the minute. You can get involved. At the minute, we're asking who should be the CDM today because we've agreed on a 4-3-3 formation on an earlier vote. So we're looking at the CDM. The choice is Rice or Downs. I don't know if you want to put a vote in or if you already had, Duke. 17% for Rice, 83% for Downs.
One of the 83%.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yes.
Well, with that, then, I shall end that poll there.
I think that one's a massively given, isn't it? It's kind of...
I'd say so. Just going to put in
given,
choices for the central midfield pair now. So... do excuse me if I appear to you guys watching. Oh, what the bloody hell is he doing? He's not paying attention. I'm doing this poll for you guys. So, Duke, you're going to have to fill in dead space.
Mate, that's all I ever do. That's what I call my relationship. I think she's probably not watching. It's all right, no man.
She listened to you in the first place.
I mean, this. I'm going to bring up a thing. Yeah, let's not. I'm guessing he says that let's not be deluded, guys. The 1 point against Leeds is not only going to have the confidence to win today, but also take 10 points from the next 4 games. Oh, Eamon, honest to God, right? If I'm going to lay a bet on this, I am. I'm going to put. He says we're going to win today, and we're going to take 10 points from an X4. Listen, we can pick up 10 points. We can pick up 4 points from an X4. I think we'll be all right. I'll be quite happy. I actually want that one. There you go. Voted. I think I was.
Have you?
Shit, I was.
Right,
yeah.
I'll tell you what. Actually, I'm just going to nip across, and I'm going to put a vote on that one.
End it now, Rob.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair.
12 votes, and it is. It looks like it's kind of. Oh no, the 12 votes was the Downs one. 12 people voted, and it was 83% for Flynn Downs.
Yeah, I think that's not necessarily a reflection on Declan Rice's ability. It is, but not in a negative way, because I think it's because he's that important to us going forwards in the Premier League, isn't it? So
yeah, without a doubt. Oh, Kentwood with another one.
As I say, I mean, sort of like I could have put in a number of central midfield pairings, but I can only put 4 on the poll. So I was like, So it's one of those.
Right, I want to know which of you lot, the 20% that went with Souček Paqueta, which one of them's the holding?
No. We've already decided. Downs is the holding.
We've decided who the holding is, but then this is not Souček, please.
Listen, he was getting forward the other night against Leeds much better than I've seen him in a long while.
Saying that, if you've got Downs as the holding, I think he's more than capable of doing that job on his own. So, yeah, I think we might have a point. Could be a point.
Yeah, I think.
I have around 7 minutes, Roberts. 8 minutes fine. Before I have to go
I can carry on this. If you need to disappear, I'll carry on doing this with the ladies and gentlemen at home. As far as the poll's concerned, they'll just have to bear with me that when I'm tapping in sort of bits and pieces, that there might be a little bit of dead silence or whatever, and I appear not to be paying them attention, which I generally don't like to do, because I like to try and make people feel that they're valued and welcomed and whatever. But
I just saw one of our transfer targets come up on telly on Sky. You know, the one I'm not talking about at the moment. He just come up on Sky. About.
That one.
Yeah, he's just come up on Sky.
You've probably if anyone's watching it, you've probably just dropped a massive hint to who you're referring.
I've not said it, but he's going to talk about tough times in his future. His watch just come up on Sky.
Oh,
coming up.
You're going to get people foaming at the mouth when they realise who you're talking about.
Coming up, talking about his tough times in his future.
Oh no! You're seriously you're
No, it's not that one. It's not that one.
Not that one.
Not that one. This is another one.
Not the one that's going to get people really foaming at the mouth.
Oh, listen, that one will put that. I promise you now, when I actually announce that one, and I might do that next week if I can get permission on it. that is going to send people into an absolute fucking meltdown.
Oh Jesus!
But this one will send people into it excites me. Let's put it that way. This one actually excites me. This gentleman that will be coming up soon actually excites me. So I'll be
this the
quite happy
forward
with that
option we're talking about?
one.
You
Right
discussed with
option,
me.
the right side.
That
option.
one.
Yeah.
Got it. I mean, that
Well,
one. I'm not being funny. That one's fairly common knowledge.
No, not that one. The other one.
Oh, that one.
That one. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've been linked with him tentatively in the past. To be fair,
Yeah,
it
we
wouldn't
were.
surprise people. But
This one,
right, the central
a bit
midfield
more.
pair
Yeah,
vote
go
has
on.
ended,
Right.
and it's been a
53%.
resounding win for Coventry Lanzini at 53%.
Yeah.
So I'm now going to give you guys the option now. Who starts as the left winger? So do apologise for this.
Just put one word. Just put one word, and that'll be the only one that can vote for. Just put Skulls.
No.
Job done.
Hold on.
Job done. I'd love to see him start.
I'd love to see him start. In now. The options are going. I'm going with a Ben Rama, Skulls, and.
Why are you looking at me when he said Ben Rama? He says Ben Rama. You look at me. I don't hate him. Hate's a horrible word.
I'll give Fornals as an option.
No.
And yeah, that'll do. I'll just go with those three. I won't overcomplicate it. I'll just keep it right. So your choices as a left winger, ladies and gentlemen, and get stuck in on the YouTube on the vote is Skulls, Ben Rama, or Fornals. And I am just going to quickly. I'm going to sign into my personal YouTube account because I'm sort of jumping here because I want to have my say. But yeah, I'm with you, mate. Ollie Skulls all day long. I mean, it's not like when we played Nottingham Forest away in the cup, is it? Under Big Sam, where he basically took pretty much a team of reserves and youth team players and threw them under the bus, and we got smashed 5-0. I mean, I'm quite happy to put at least one player in from the youth grade teams. He's surrounded by players. I know the lineup that I put on the earlier video is a team that you could say pretty much have been bench players of late, most of them. But even so, it's like, well, they've got international caps. They've got appearances in European competition. They've got a lot of experience. So it's not like Ollie Skulls is going to be sort of like, oh, shit, where's the experience? He's got to have people around him. So,
yeah, I mean...
it's not going to happen, Cyber. That's my opinion. Case closed. It's not going to happen. Not worth discussing.
I'll ask the question.
What question?
You know what question?
No.
And you know who of as well.
Oh no. I did
because if I'm honest, I'd prefer that option than the other option, Rob. The other option being
the one that's going to get foaming at the mouth sort of reactions.
Yeah. Absolute meltdown.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed. I mean, we're talking like it's a big secret, but there's probably people out there that wouldn't be surprised if what we're talking about comes to pass. But I did actually put a poll out there the other night on the YouTube and Twitter
shall I do it?
It's up to
shall
you.
I do it?
It's up to, I mean, like I say, I've already asked the question.
Shall I do it?
Of people, and I think it got a resounding no.
There's 17 people in the chat, and I'm going to do it, and it's going to be my line. It's going to be my sign off. It's going to be my sign off, Rob. Right, I'm going to do it. So,
oh god, he's going to do it. Oh no!
For those of you in the chat, I'm aware of a possibility.
Skulls won 85%, by the way.
Oh, nice. I'm aware of a possibility that a certain gentleman is of interest to David Moyes for the January window. Nottingham Forest want to get rid of Jesse Lingard, and this has put Moyes on alert again. And there's a distinct possibility David Moyes will make a move for Jesse Lingard in the coming weeks. You heard it here.
That's now got people turning off.
I won't lie. I wish I wasn't the bearer of that news, but I did tell Rob the other night after the which turned the cameras off.
Did.
And yeah, so
Other things you told me besides.
there's a distinct possibility, and I have it on relatively decent authority that he will.
Yes.
He still has interest. Whether or not the board will allow him to spend any time even contemplating this one, but there is interest from Moyes to get Jesse Lingard from Nottingham Forest in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we're not for 1 minute saying it's going to happen. We're not for 1 minute saying it's going to happen. What we're saying is that there is the interest from Moyes is not dead. Whether, as Duke says, whether the board will back him, whether the board will back him is another matter. But he is, from what Duke's sources told him, he's still interested. And I don't think that would block him, Dean. I really don't think that would block him. I think he could have a broken leg and be out for 18 months, and I think he'd still go after him. It's like he's obsessed. But there was a load of people that when he went to Forest that turned around and said, "You wait until January, we'll be fucking linked with him again." Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Right, Robert, so I'm going to have to call it a day so I can go get the rest of the pub set up, my man. I'm sorry to leave you on your own. It's just obviously what.
No, that's cool. I'm going to carry on with the vote.
What I'll do is I'll keep it on my phone and I'll stay in the I'll stay in the chat. I'll stay in the chat. Right, obviously, I just have to have the doors open and everything else. So I will. I'll carry on down with the chat, boys and girls. I shall see you tomorrow at some point. So we'll see you very soon. Love you all.
Cheers, Rob. Mate. Look after yourself.
You later.
Take
Cheers.
Care. There you go. He's worked out, let himself out, ladies and gentlemen. Right, I'm just going to stop with the comments because I'm trying to concentrate on the two things. Please do bear with me. So at the minute, we've got the poll running on the YouTube. And as I say, if you're watching it on Twitter or Facebook, get across to the YouTube channel and put yourself the vote in. We're running the right winger at the minute. So we've only got one more left to go, which is obviously who plays as the central striker. So at the minute, your options are Bowen, Lanzini, Fornals, Benrahma, who plays on the right side of a front three, because we voted on the formation earlier and the consensus was we're going to go with a 4-3-3. So I've based everything going forwards upon that particular vote. So the right winger, and I'm going to close it now. The preferred right winger was Jared Bowen, who won with 53% of the vote. Thank you very much for your participation, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm now going to go and just input into YouTube for you good ladies and gentlemen at home, just to get involved and have your say. Who should play as the striker? It probably won't be any surprise when you see the names that I'm going to put forwards, because they're probably the only realistic options at the club. It would help if I could spell, of course. So let me just correct that. You don't need to know. It's fine. It's fine. Right. Okay. So the options to play as a striker won't come as any shock to you guys. As I say, if you're not watching on YouTube, get across to the YouTube channel and get involved in this final part of the jigsaw. The options are really simple. Gianluca Scamacca and Michail Antonio, or Divine Mubama. Although it has to be said, for those of you that might not be aware, the under-21s played last night and he was in the squad. It might also interest you to know that Ollie Scarles wasn't. He wasn't even on the bench. So this is why I think he's going to be involved today. Whether it's from bench or whether he starts, I hope he starts. But I think it is quite likely that Mubama won't be involved simply because he did play in under 21s last night. But you never know. I am just going to quickly go. I'm going to have a quick vote on this. Why not? I'm going to vote on my own poll because I'm a West Ham fan at the end of the day. I suppose I've got to stick with what I put on the graphic earlier. I'd like to see Mubama involved, but I don't think he will be because he played last night. But I'd like to see him on the bench, maybe come on for the last 10, 15 minutes or whatever. I know it's very dependent upon what the situation is at the time, but there you go. Right, I'm just going to go back to the live chat. Where did we get to? If true, that's why David Moyes has to go. Just think of it. LOL, it's foolery. Moyes is a dinosaur. I take it you're referring to the Jesse Lingard link. Now, as I say, Duke told me this the other day. Duke has a contact, and Duke has obviously, we have chats away from the camera about certain things that have been discussed, that some of which we never discuss with you guys. We just sort of keep it between ourselves a lot of the time. But the other night, after we finished the Leeds review, we had a little chat off camera, and he sort of told me about this guy that he's got that's a source, and he's come up with certain things, and all of them have come true pretty much. And as I say, he's at pains. Duke's at pains to stress he's not saying we're signing Jesse Lingard. He's not. But what he's saying is that there is still interest from David Moyes. Whether the board will back him given what happened previously, now that remains to be seen. But as David Moyes has not himself closed the door completely on Jesse Lingard signing for West Ham United. And that was why, off of the back of the review, the Leeds review, I put out on Twitter and Facebook, our Twitter and Facebook pages, polls asking the question, Lingard in January, ? It was a resounding no, wasn't even close. And when Duke told me, I was like, seriously, no. But as I say, David Moyes is apparently still interested in Jesse Lingard. Not saying we're going to sign him, not saying that the board will sanction the move, but David Moyes himself still interested. But there you go. Mandy comes in, says Lingard's on 200k a week on a year's contract. We would need to pay that until the end of the season. Maybe not. If Lingard's that unhappy, if Nottingham Forest are that unhappy, maybe they'll come to a mutual agreement where they literally go to his contract. And then obviously we can negotiate what we want. We could turn around, offer him a contract to the end of the year, to the 18-month contract. Who knows? Bad planning by Duke. Story of his life. And he's probably watching. So there you go. He knows that I always give him a little bit of a hard time for being late and stuff like that. So would I, Eamon. So would I. But I wouldn't be surprised if his contract got torn up by mutual consent. A bit like what happened with Ronaldo at Manchester United. So, no, I agree. We don't. And I don't think we would. I think that he would probably have to. I think that he would have to swallow a little bit of pride, Jesse Lingard, if that was to ever happen. Because I think that if the board backed David Moyes, let's just say that David Moyes, just for the purposes of debate, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's just a little bit of role play. David Moyes still has a hankering to sign Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard and Nottingham Forest come to an agreement, tear up the contract. Look, it's not working out for either party. Tear up the contract. Jesse, you're a free agent. Do what you got to do. David Moyes approaches the board and says, look, this is what I want to do. I've had contact with his agent. I've had contact with the player. He's willing to eat a little bit of humble pie and all, mend some bridges, blah, blah, blah. And the board, reluctantly or whatever, say, do it. I think he's going to get absolute dog's abuse if it happens. Both Jesse Lingard and David Moyes. But you know what us football fans are like. If he scores a couple of goals, gets a couple of assists, pushes us up the table, and is the reason that we escape relegation, who knows? Forest are in the relegation zone or close. Why would they give us Lingard? Makes no sense at all. As I say, possibly because they're paying a player 200k a week that is contributing absolutely nothing. As I say, I'm not, I'm going off of Duke's information that comes off of a source, and this source, I know his his track record in the past has been pretty good. And like I say, even the sources not saying for 1 minute to Duke, it will happen. West Ham will sign Jesse Lingard. That's not what's being said. What's being said is that David Moyes himself isn't closed the door on Jesse Lingard coming to West Ham. Whether the board will sanction it is another matter entirely. So there you go. Right, I am going to shut now the poll on the striker, and the striker that you guys have voted for. Oh, I probably I probably should have looked before I hit end poll, because we have a dead heat. Skamaka and Mubama. Right, I probably should have looked before I hit the button. That was me getting a little bit excited. We've got Skamaka and Mubama tied on 36%. Right, okay, I'm probably going to have the casting vote then. I've already voted on Antonio and he lost. So if it's between Mubama and Skamaka, I would probably like to see Mubama more than I would like to see Skamaka in a funny sort of way. But he played last night. So I think for us to play a striker that had a game less than 24 hours earlier, or around 24 hours earlier than this game, I think would be a bad idea. So I'm going to go Skamaka. If I have to have a casting vote, as I say, my choice was Antonio, but there you go. 5-0 to the Claret and Blue. That'd be quite nice. Morning, Doug. Hope you are well. Hope you had a good week. Nick, you're in there. The Ronaldo contract ending. It's opened up opportunities for other players. It has, Nick. It has, absolutely. Domino effect. Once one happens, everything then starts to sort of knock into place. If Lingard came back, he will get booed off the pitch by the West Ham fans. Yes, he would. Yes, he would. I have never booed a player in Claret and Blue. I just take I take the stance that I'm just not going to cheer them. I won't boo them, but I just won't cheer them. And I did that with Marko Arnautovic and other players besides that fell out with the club but still played. I think I might break that rule for Jesse Lingard personally. I think I might. If he walked through the door, I think I might break that particular standpoint. Rob comes in. Hope you're well, Rob. We have only one position in the squad of 25. Then it's 1 in, 1 out, and we still need have the 8 homegrown players. Fair point. Dean comes in, says Dave Moyes probably wants to sign Marouane Fellaini. Yeah, you're probably not wrong. Probably not wrong. Don't want Lingard back. F him. Fair point. Fair point. 200k would still need to be paid. Like I say, I don't think that we would have to. I think that he's kind of put it this way. Like I say, just for a bit of role play, if his contract is terminated by mutual consent at Nottingham Forest and he is now unemployed, obviously what's gone before, we could turn around and say, listen, mate, you ain't getting that. And it's, he's got to take it or leave it. Simple as that. I don't think there's no way if he came here, he's getting 200k a week. No chance. Absolutely no chance. Mubama won't be there. As I say, I know he played last night, Mandy. I know he played last night. And I think that the chances of him being involved today, certainly starting a virtually zero as a result of that. I'd like to see him involved from the bench if that's at all possible. But I've gone, as I say, I've gone with Skamaka because I had to have the deciding vote. I didn't look to see there was a tie. I should have waited, but there you go. Jesse Lingard, good grief. Yeah, you know it, Alex. You know it. As I say, we're not, just to re-emphasize, Duke's source and Duke off of the back of it and me off of the back of that. None of us are saying we are signing Jesse Lingard. None of us are saying that. We're not. What Duke's source has come out with is to say that David Moyes himself would still be open to signing Jesse Lingard. Whether David Sullivan, Daniel Kretinsky, Karen Brady would endorse that, sanction it, whatever, remains to be seen. I personally don't think they would. Because I just put myself in their shoes, I'd be like, if someone I was employing to run a business came to me and said, Do you remember that guy that before he fucked off caused a lot of shit to occur around our business? Yeah. Well, it's not worked out for him, and he wants to come back. My reaction would be, tell him to fuck off. Tell him to fuck off. But who knows? Who knows? That's about the only thing he does well these days, doesn't he? That seems to be his thing. TikToks. We're on TikTok, but I don't get it a lot of the time. I'm a dinosaur. Well, no, I'm not a dinosaur, but no, I'm a dinosaur, and David Moyes is a fossil. There you go. Moyes knows how to flog a dead horse. You're right, Kate. You're right. When Duke told me it the other night, I just went, no, not him. No, not him. That can't happen. But we'll see. We'll see. There was 3 other players that this source has told us we're gonna test the waters with. One of them, I think, is fairly common knowledge. I don't know whether I should name names, but one of them, I think, is someone that in this window has been heavily linked with us. One of them is a guy that was heavily linked with us in the summer transfer window and is currently playing in the Championship. Join the dots. And the other one is a guy who is at a Premier League club and has played quite recently for a team that usually competes in the Champions League. He went there on loan. Again, if you want to join the dots and make your conclusions, you'll probably be there or thereabouts. But there's 4 players essentially that this source has said to Duke that we're looking at. But like I say, a couple of them are ones that we've been linked with in this transfer window or transfer windows previously. So none of them will be names that are a surprise to anyone. None of them were a surprise when Duke told me. The one that I just went, no, was Lingard. No. Although Rob comes up with a novel idea. Swap Lingard for Cornet. Yeah. Arthur is another. Yeah, he's coming back from Besiktas. He's got his loan deal that's being terminated, and he's on his way back. So I don't quite know what that means for Arthur Masuaku. But we'll see. Eamon comes in, says if Lingard did come back, he wouldn't be performing week in, week out like he hasn't been at Nottingham Forest. I completely agree. He'd just be picking up a paycheck and he'd be more interested in performing for TikTok than us. I agree. I think that when he came to us, he was playing for his Manchester United future. And that is why we got what we got, which was absolutely outstanding. Let's not kid ourselves. It was absolutely outstanding. And I can understand that when Ronaldo walked through the door at Old Trafford, who was his hero, that there was the attraction to stay there and learn off of a guy that he considered to be his idol. I get it. But I do think that when the summer came and he was then a free agent, all of the bollocks that happened off of the back of that, no, never go back. Peter comes in, it's very worrying looking at the rest of our fixtures. You're telling me, mate, we really need 6 points in the next 2 to make things a bit better and get into the 20s. Yeah, because what is it? We've got, just looking here at the fixture list, away at Wolves. This is the league fixtures. Forget about Brentford a minute. Wolves away, Everton at home, and then we get into it. We got Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, Tottenham away, Nottingham Forest at home. Yeah, so that could be quite. I mean, by the time we get to that, I mean, let's be completely honest here. I think if you look at Newcastle away, Chelsea home, Tottenham away, I think we're going to do very well to have probably 3 points out of those 3 games, if I'm being brutally honest. I think if we get 3 points out of those 3 games, that's probably, given our current form, that's probably not too bad. Now, whether that comes in a win and 2 defeats or 3 draws, I don't know. But that probably would be, with our current form, probably about as good as you could realistically expect. And then you go into what would potentially be, I think, in all likelihood, a relegation 6-pointer. Not good. Right, I'm just going to rattle through a few of these comments, guys, before I knock it on the head. I'm probably boring you senseless, but Mandy says, oh my God, Arthur Mass is back. Yeah, great. I'd rather have Arthur Daly, says Pete. James comes in. He's the Messiah. He's the Moisaya, Miss H. Wash your mouth out with a bar of the proverbial in it. Masuaku is a better option than Emerson. Well, I said it when we signed Emerson. I said that Emerson is a slightly less shit version of Arsen Masuaku. But having seen Emerson, I'm like, I don't really see that there's an awful lot of difference between them. So I don't really see what the point was on shifting one out of the door, albeit on loan, and then signing another. You know, doesn't seem to really either one of them to be any sort of upgrade on Aaron Cresswell. I mean, all right, Arthur Masuaku, in fairness to him, has come out and said he wasn't ever a left back. He was a left winger. But and that was absolutely disgusting. Absolutely awful that he did there. Then we still have to play Fulham, Liverpool, Man United, and Newcastle again. Yeah, Pete, it's not good, mate. It's not good. It really isn't. But there you go. Right, guys, 25 of you watching. I've got 18 likes on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, could you nip over there before I hit the end broadcast button and just drop a like on the stream? It really would help. I think the only backer we're getting linked with is Chewbacca, probably, Pete. Not Carlos Backer. I don't even know if he's still playing. Is he still playing? I've got no idea. A, if he's still playing, and B, where he's playing his trade at the minute. But I mean, it does seem that we get linked with the same players over and over and over and over again. Just, you know, rinse and repeat. It's like, can we have some new things, please? As I say, the names that do out of players with several times in several different transfer windows. Did you know we are paying Areola 120k a week? Yes, I did. Crazy money for a guy that doesn't play Premier League minutes, but I think he should. I mean, I think he's going to be our Emerson's on 95k a week. Yeah, again, that doesn't really surprise me. I guess you look at it, he's an international player. How, I don't know. He's got Champions League experience. How, I don't know. I guess it's one of those, isn't it? Whether Backer is still playing or not won't stop us bidding. I'll tell you what, you've got me curious. I'm going to check Carlos Backer. I don't know if he's still playing. Here we go. He is a Colombian professional footballer who plays as a striker, so he is still playing. He's 36 years of age, Jesus. And he's playing for a team called Atletico Junior, who is a Colombian professional team in the Categoria Primera A. So, yeah, he is still playing. But I think and hope at 36 years of age, and he's now plying his trade in Colombia, I'd like to think that David Moyes even couldn't look at him and go, oh, yeah, that's a viable option. Kling will return. It's written in Starlets, and Mandy says, is that Chewbacca? It may as well be. It may as well be. Peter comes in, says, all we need is a left back, a right back, and a central midfielder, 2 strikers who can score, and then we might stay up. You don't want much, do you? But then again, it could be argued that maybe that's what we should have done in the summer transfer window. Instead, we signed Emerson Palmieri, who resembles a left back, says he's a left back, plays as a left back, but isn't a left back, you know. 27 likes I've got now on YouTube. Thank you very much. So I'm probably now, well, I've got 34 of you watching. So, you know, if you would be so kind to jump across onto YouTube, if you're not watching us on YouTube, drop a like on the stream, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that bell icon for alerts on new content. You can probably tell I've done that little bit of spiel a few times before. Rob comes in. Did you see we were linked with Firmino from Liverpool? Yeah, and we're not signing him, mate. We're not signing him. Why would a guy that's won the Premier League, the Champions League, the Club World Cup want to come to a team that's possibly going to go down the gurgler? I can't see it myself. I think we're more likely to sign Jesse Lingard, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. Yes, they did. They beat 2-1 Everton. They won at Everton, so that was a great result. Mubama started, I believe. Yeah, he did. Mubama started. Ashby wasn't involved in the squad, and Scholes wasn't involved in the squad. But so I think that Scholes will be involved today. I don't see Ashby will be certainly I don't. I'd be amazed if he starts tonight. I'd be so shocked, so shocked. I'd be amazed if he's on the bench even. Eamon comes in and says there's a lot of teams from the Farmers League that play in the Champions League. That's how Emerson was allowed to play for Chelsea in the Champions League. Correct. That is correct. But he's still, he's still got that on his CV, which looks very impressive, doesn't it? I've played Champions League football and I've played international football. And you go, oh, well, he must be good then. Quick, give him a contract and put him on 95k a week. Paquetá at 150k a week. I mean, given that he plays for Brazil and he's their playmaker, blah blah blah. I kind of get it. But yeah, I mean, has he lived up to that tag? I would say on balance, not yet. But I got a little bit of optimism off of the back of the Leeds game, but that's on the basis that he plays in a 4-3-3 formation and he's one of the central midfielders with Declan as the anchor. That's just me. I know that David Moyes might have a different stance on it, but there you go. Martin's come in. Hope you're well, mate. Comes in, says, morning, guys. Are they going to buy Ings to keep Cornet company in the sick bay? I haven't watched it, but I'm aware that Gio put something out on Hammer's chat because there's been a link to Danny Ings. Just no, please. Please no. Please no. Miss Hammerat, cheers, Gatesy and Duke before he left. So thank you very much. You're welcome, Kate. James comes in. Remember to have your hard-earned on the 5-0, people. Thank me later. Hugs. Thank you very much, James. Pete comes back in. He scored a pen and the other goal was from Swire. Ekwa wasn't in the squad. Maybe Ekwa could be involved today, perhaps. Although, I mean, because he's the one that's just come back from loan, isn't it? Him and Daniel Chesters. So, yeah. Pete comes in. New centre-back, new 20-year-old centre-back was on the bench. Yeah, Louis Zhao. Yeah, sorry he was on the bench. Fritz, hope you are well, my friend. Hope you are fine and dandy. You've probably turned up just as I'm about to end the broadcast, sadly, but thank you for coming along. What have I got on YouTube? I've got 34 likes. Jesus Christ. That's amazing. Thank you very much for that. You're all very kind. Paquetá needs to come good sooner than later. As I say, I'm reasonably hopeful that if David Moyes doesn't play him as a central attacking midfielder in a 4-2-3-1 and he plays him in a 4-3-3 as a conventional central midfielder, I think he'll be all right. I think that he showed signs against Leeds that he's starting to get acclimatized. He's starting to get the hang of it. And if he's played in his proper position, Mr. David Moyes, half a chance you're going to get a tune out of him. So Ings 6 in the last 8. Yeah, 6 in the last 8. That's good, but you know full well that it will be another Kieran Dyer situation. When Alan Kirbishley signed him, I just went, the guy's always bloody injured. What are we doing? And I think it was 2-3 games later, double leg fracture away at Bristol Rovers. That's nice. Paquetá will prevail despite David Moyes. Agreed. I think like I say, he's a quality player, but he just needs to be played. I don't understand why Moyes keeps putting square pegs in round holes. That's their position for their country. That's the position where they shine. What the fuck are you doing putting them there? So, Gary, appreciate the compliment, mate, and thank you for coming along. Peter says, if Moyes doesn't gamble, we are doing a Titanic. Oh, Jesus Christ. Mind you, if we're going to do a Titanic, actually, I could think of worse places that I could be. All right, you've just hit an iceberg, but you're at the front of the ship and you're sort of holding Kate Winslet like that. I mean, what a way to go. What a way to go. Right, 35 likes. I am going to bugger off. I wish you guys all a very, very good Saturday and the rest of the weekend. Besides, I think we're going to be doing just to mark your card, we're going to be doing the match review. I should have spoke to Duke about this before he disappeared. I suspect we're going to be doing that tomorrow. Obviously, I'm going to have to sort out a time with him, but if you make sure that you've done what I've said you should do, which, as it says there, please don't forget to like, comment on, and share this stream to your social media platforms. That helps us tremendously, actually. If you can do a retweet on Twitter or, share us on Facebook or whatever, that is absolutely huge. And if you could do that, literally just click the button, you'd help us out so much. And make sure you hit that bell icon, because as soon as I hit end broadcast or Duke hits end broadcast, your phone or your whatever your device is will go ping, and you can come along and you can get involved. As I say, we did a little poll earlier and people got involved. We had a little bit of fun. Obviously, Duke was time limited on how long he could stay here for and talk about what the goings on at West Ham are. I'll tell you what. Hang on. I said I was going to bugger off, but I'll tell you what. Moyes puts everything in the Bermuda Triangle. Yep, he does. She would let you on the door. Fritz, do we think that Moyes will play some of the youngsters today? Love to see Ashby and Skulls. Right, okay. Because obviously you're late to the party, Fritz, I will indulge you. Ashby, I would love to see. I would love to see a sprinkling of youth starting, and I'd like to see a few more on the bench, ideally. Not entirely sure that's what we're going to see, but that's me. I think Skulls will be involved. I think there's a reasonable chance he's going to start, as a matter of fact. Ashby, not so sure. Not so sure. I think that David Moyes has already made his mind up with Ashby in the same way that he made his mind up with Jeremy and Gakia just after the lockdown. Oh, you're not going to sign a contract? I'm not going to involve you. Done. I think he's our best right back at the club. I've said that. I think he should be playing. And I think that the reason he's going is because he's not playing. You know, it's one of those chicken and egg situations. Oh, he's not going to sign a contract, so we're not going to play him. Well, maybe if you played him, he'd sign the bloody contract. Maybe that's just me being rather sort of simplistic, but that's the way I look at it. I'd like to see Ashby involved. I mean, he wasn't involved in the under-21 squad yesterday. Scholes wasn't involved in the under-21 squad yesterday. So you look at that and you think, Divine Mubama's the other one that I think a lot of people would like to see involved, and I would like to see involved as well. The only thing that makes me think that he won't start, might be involved from the bench, is the fact that obviously he played for the 21s last night. So, Fred, you are very kind to say so. According to the bookies, the 0.5 odds have been crashing down since my original prediction. It's because of you. It's all because of you. If West Ham are the Titanic, I'm Captain Birdseye. Ashby is learning Geordie as we speak. Probably. Fred says Skulls has the X Factor. Honestly, what I've seen of the kid, very, very impressive. I don't want to put too much pressure on his shoulders, though, because there's been many, many players that have come through the youth ranks that have shown a bit of promise, looked half decent, and we all think that they're the next big thing, and then, boom, they hit the buffers and you'd never hear from them again. Reece Oxford being a case in point. So, I want to sort of ease him in gently, but I do want to utilise this kid seriously. Mubama as well. Get them involved. And like I say, I've said this before and I'll say it again. We come out of the tunnel and there it is on the carpet, the Academy of Football. Let's try to live up to that tag. And I know that Premier League managers are judged on results. They're judged on transfer business. And the average life of a Premier League manager is around about 18 months. So the average Premier League manager isn't really interested in what's coming through the youth ranks unless they're world class, because quite frankly, they haven't got the time to wait around. Tony Carr told me that. So I kind of get it, but it's like, look, come on. We as a club like to try and portray this image of the Academy of Football. So let's try, at least look like we're trying. I don't think we look like we're trying on that front. Anyway, right. I am going to finish off waffling. I'm going to hit the promo for Iron Supporting Food Banks. If any of you could put a few quid in this particular fund, as you'd always find it in the description section, as I say on the blurb, please help out if you can. And I'll see you the other side. Have yourself a great day. And come on, you Irons. Fourth round, here we come. Forged from Iron is proud to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham United fans and friends inspired by the work of other football fan food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations from Newham Food Bank in Beckton, who supply 7 distribution centres in the borough, 7 days a week, and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. They are supported in their efforts by West Ham United Football Club, the WHU Foundation, LS185, London Legacy Development Corporation, Newham Council, the Met Police, Spire London East Hospital, Expedient Security, and a large number of West Ham and football fans. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thank you for your support. Come on, you Irons.